Republic of Tahrir. The Independent Republic of Tahrir is a free state. Yeah, it is a state of free souls, people living together, I think in union and in harmony. Harmony that I've never sensed before. I always say I saw God in Tahrir. It was very strange. There is a scene from Passion of the Christ, Jesus falling down with his heavy cross and his mama going closely, running to him and crying, and he just looked at her and said, "Mom, don't cry, because from today I make everything new." And I think that was what I was feeling in Tahrir. With all the martyrs and everyone who fell, I felt from tonight we were making everything new from the 28th. And that was Tahrir for us. Tahrir was, as I said, an independent place, a place that was running 24 hours efficiently. We had ministries in Tahrir. We had a health ministry. You know, I'm a doctor myself, and I was impressed with our makeshift hospital. You know, we started with nothing in a small mosque, and it ended up with a big hospital with specialities as well. You had doctors with tags, you know, you had eye doctors, ear doctors, every single thing, and you ended up having a barber as well in Tahrir. It was free, you know, going around, and a dentist too. So that was from the health perspective of it. People would, doctors would pass in their white gowns maybe at night, asking people in the tents, "Are you okay? Anyone needing a medication?" On the last Thursday, when we thought Mubarak was not leaving after his speech, I was going around as a psychiatrist asking if everybody was okay. Do you need any Valium? You know, having to cope with this. So there was a health ministry. We had a very good defense ministry. We had defense on every single entrance, and we had alarm system, and we knew how to defend our place and home. We dealt with food as well. It's not true that we were given, they used to say this rumor on TV, Egyptian media, that we're getting Kentucky chicken and we're being paid euros. That was not true. We're actually eating food, which is the popular food in Egypt, the cheapest you can find, and it was mothers and fathers and people from outside of Tahrir coming around just giving people food. Inequality. There was social justice in Tahrir. That's the important thing. Everyone was equal. There were the Muslim prayers and the Christian prayers happening at the same time at the same place. We had the ultras of the football clubs, you know, exercising every single day, bang, 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 on the floor at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they were rocking, you know, the square. You had the media. The media was free. You were allowed to say anything you want. We had stages, and we actually had a station. So we had a radio station of Tahrir, and we had a big screen of Al Jazeera just live all day long, and music, all the, you know, all the underground music. Every forbidden song, every song where its maker, writer or singer was put to prison before, was playing loud. That was Tahrir, you know. It was an amazing life. It was, I don't know, it was a big camp. I'm a leftist myself, so you had the leftists taking their camp, and it looked hippier than anyone else, of course, and you had the liberals, and you had the Muslim Brotherhood, and at 6 o'clock every day, that was routine, that we would visit each other. We would visit, send someone from each group so we can sit and talk, you know, have sort of our debate, talk about the future, talk about what next, talk about the demands of Tahrir, and that was it. I've never seen a religious slogan in Tahrir. I've never seen anything except free spirits that wanted this a new Egypt. And we had a lot of foreign correspondents, and there they said they've never seen anything like it. It was extremely spiritual experience, and it was real.
And how optimistic are you that this incredible vision of what Egypt could be like will become reality going forward permanently? How do you feel? What's next for Egypt?
To say the truth, optimism, you know, varies. So some days I wake up very optimistic, other days I feel, oh my God, you know, are we betraying the blood of the dead here? Are we letting it go off easy? It's not easy. We thought by, you know, toppling the regime, that's it, but that's not the truth, because there's a lot to come. Democratization is a process, and it takes years to happen. And the demands, although some of them are met, there are still most of them still lingering there. You still have corruption in governors. You still have local councils that are extremely corrupt. You still have a problem with the military council not knowing which direction they are taking us to as well. Now with a counter-revolution, the way psychological operations work is actually through loss of security or lack of security in the streets, so people are scared. But we have to remind ourselves that this security force was the security for the regime. It never was there to protect the people. On the contrary, it was always torturing people and against the people. But now there is no security, and that's what they're playing on, of course, the remains or the residuals of the regime. We have the economy problem, of course, because tourism is the most important thing or income for Egypt. And if there is no security, foreigners are a bit scared to come and visit. So we want them to come because we are protecting Egypt. You have neighborhood watches down instead of any police. We want this to work, and that's the important thing. Sectarian problems as well. Sectarian problems, I think they are fed by the regime as well, because that's the only way. They need to divide so they can rule, and they tried. There are a lot of outer forces or outside forces that have interests in ruining this movement for us. So I would say Saudi Arabia, and I would say Israel without any fear or doubt. And of course from the inside you have those who are still fighting hard to stay. This was not a regime of 5 or 6 people. This was something like, I don't know, it would go something like 1 million of people, who had interests. And of course they are fighting back. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I'm optimistic that now that the voices are out and now that we are liberated, you cannot have us back in the box again. So if we came out on the 25th of January to say no to the regime and no to Mubarak, I think we will come back again to say no to anyone who will not make this Egypt the Egypt we want it to be, which is an Egypt of a civil state, Egypt where we all are equal and have the rights, where there is social justice. And I think that's what we are dreaming about, In Tahrir, I just want to say it because we felt it was our Egypt. For the first time, we actually cared to clean. And even the CNN said it's the first time we see a revolution that cleans after it, Yes. We were cleaning all the time because it felt like my Egypt, Before, no one felt they owned it, no one felt home. And that's the difference. In Tahrir, we felt this is home.